today's session of Divorce Court. Danelle Speaks says when she saw Paul, she saw someone who desperately needed her help.
This man was wearing corduroys in July, Coca-Cola bottle glasses. He didn't know anything. He didn't know how to fill out an application for a car. He didn't have a driver's license. And I taught him how to eat, how to hold a napkin, how to hold a fork.
You could say, boy, I could do wonders with this.
If I'm looking good, I want my husband to look good. If I'm walking the walk, I want my husband to walk the walk.
But when she found evidence that he'd turned into a ladies' man,
I found pantyhose, eyeliner pencils, panties.
Huh?
Homeboy been real busy.
it was over. Now Danelle Speaks faces Paul Speaks one last time in today's session of Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Maybelline Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is a matter of Paul Speaks versus Danelle Speaks. Ms. Speaks, I'm advised that you dated Mr. Speaks for 8 years. You've been married to him for 8 years, and now you think it's time to end this relationship. What's going on?
Yes, Your Honor. What's going on is that he's moved on with his life, and I've moved on with mine.
Why'd you move on?
Well, because I was on a vacation with my mom for about a week. When I got home, my house was in disarray.
What was wrong with it?
This man had moved another woman in. They were in there playing house.
What did you observe when you first walked in?
When I walked in my house, the first thing that came over me was an intuition that somebody had been there.
Oh, you just felt it?
I felt it.
And what made you feel that?
I just felt this feeling that another woman had been in my home.
And then what did you do?
Like I said, I checked my whole house.
And what did you find?
And I found pantyhose, eyeliner pencils.
Not belonging to you, I take it.
No, not belonging to me. Not belonging to me.
Pantyhose, eyeliner, what else?
Panties.
Huh?
Panties.
In your house?
Yes, Your Honor.
In less than a week's time?
Less than a week's time. When I met this man was wearing corduroys in July.
He was wearing
Coca-Cola bottle glasses. He didn't know anything.
So he didn't know how to dress?
No, ma'am. He didn't know anything
anyway.
about life or any of that. He didn't know how to fill out an application for a car. He didn't have a driver's license. He didn't have anything.
So you taught him a lot?
And I taught him how to eat, how to hold a napkin, how to hold a fork.
You mean he didn't have table manners
No,
either?
ma'am. When we go out to dinner, he didn't know any of that. He didn't know to place the napkin in your lap.
So you were working on this man and you improved his image?
Yes, because my intentions was to get married one time, you know, and to make the best of it.
So you met a man...
If I'm looking good, I want my husband to look good.
So you met a man...
If I'm walking the walk, I want my husband to walk the walk. And he was, you know, so I had to teach him all of that.
So you met a man that didn't know how to put his shoes on too well, didn't know how to shine them, didn't know how to tie a tie?
No, I'm not going to say he didn't know how to tie a tie.
But he didn't have it together.
He didn't have it together.
And you decided, well, I need me a new project. Let me pick him up and work on the project.
Yes, in a sense I did, because it wasn't that, but I fell in love with this man. I did.
How did you fall in love with a man that didn't look anything like you or like you would want a man to look?
No,
you can envision it? You can say, boy, I could do wonders with this.
No. Listen, at first, it was lust, straight lust.
Straight lust?
Straight lust.
So even in the corduroys in July, it was all right?
No, that only happened one time. When I seen them corduroys in July, I was like, come on, baby, we got to go get an outfit right then and there.
Even though he didn't dress right.
So that happened one time.
Okay. So you looked at his body and said, I like what I see.
I saw that we could make something together. We could build something together. We could work and make something together.
How did you see all that through lust, other than what you could make was a baby?
Worker. He's a hard worker. He's still a hard worker. I'm not trying to assassinate his hard working character, but his integrity and his character to what it is today, from what I knew, has definitely changed.
So it changed his whole attitude?
Yes,
is that what
and
you're saying?
He got ego. He got real ego. When I met him, like I said, he's wearing Coca-Cola bottle glasses. Now I take him to the optometrist. He's able to pick out a pair of glasses for $350.
So now he wears designer glasses?
Yes, he was wearing designer glasses. We were traveling. We was
doing things,
living life.
So then what happened? What happened?
Man, it's so much happened. So at that time,
So
I
once you
left.
improved him, he decided he wanted to improve and not be with you.
He
Is that what
wanted
you're
to
telling me?
improve without me. Yes, he wanted to improve without me, and it wasn't even an improvement.
So
it
he
was
found a lady that
disimprovement.
didn't, that,
Oh,
is that
no,
what?
several ladies. Let me finish telling you,
Well,
Judge.
finish.
Several ladies. It was several ladies.
Oh.
At one time, he had 2 women living in one household with him.
With him, and you still
With
married?
him. And we still married. Not only that, when I
Where were
met
you
him...
living? Were you the third one living in another household?
No, I had moved by then. I had moved because, like I said, I had to decide for myself.
Well, what made
was
you
best.
move, though? Why did you move? Because he started messing around?
What made me move was the things that I had found in the apartment, the pantyhose.
Oh, when you got back to the house.
eyeliner, yes. And then when I sat on my couch and smelled the funk of sex on my living room set, I had to make a decision. Either I'm gonna leave out here with my pride, my dignity, or my self-respect, or I'm gonna turn my head and act like it never happened.
So that was the first time you had experienced that with him? Was that the first time?
Yes.
And you said one time's enough for me?
Yes, that was enough for me.
Mr. Speaks, is she telling the
Wait a
truth?
minute.
She's
Your Honor,
lying.
can I
Excuse me,
finish,
Danelle, she
please?
asked
Hold
me.
on.
He got 4 other kids, too. When I met him, he had 2 kids. Now he got 6 kids.
Oh.
Oh, homeboy
In the
been
last
real
6
busy.
years?
He been real busy.
In the last 16 years or since you've been married?
Since the time we've been married. When I met
Now
him...
he has 4 more children?
He has 4
And you didn't know
more.
about that?
No. That's another reason why... And see, my gut instinct...
She's been gone
that's
for
one
5
thing.
years, Your Honor.
And how old are your kids?
Okay.
Tell them how old your kids are.
Good
listen.
question. Wait a minute now, Mr. Speaks. You said she's been gone for 5 years.
5 years she's been gone.
So this affair has been going on for 21
My oldest son
years?
is 14.
No.
My oldest son is 14. My oldest daughter is 12.
Well,
my
that's not-
youngest,
that's
my
the ones
youngest
I know
daughter
about.
is 1, and my next to her is 2. Now you sit up here and say
Well, wait just a minute, Mr. Speaks. If your oldest is 14...
my first marriage.
First marriage, you was together. You've been together 16 years.
No, we haven't been
I've been
together
married.
16.
I've been married before Danelle. I've been married
So
before.
you were married when you were dating her?
The first time?
Oh, yeah.
My first wife left me because I like to work a lot of overtime and take care of my family. And when she left, I didn't know better to go chasing after. I let her go head on. I told her she can go in my own to myself.
So you
I didn't
started
go
going
after
with Miss
her.
Speaks before your
That's when I
divorce was
started
over.
exactly. That's when I started dating her.
I told he
I
wanted...
started
just a
dating.
minute.
I started
It's his
dating.
turn.
I started dating Danelle. Okay.
So you were sleeping with another woman while you were still
While
married?
I was still married to
now,
my
did
first
you know
woman.
about that?
No.
She knew about her
Listen,
because her and I
he
talked
was still
about it.
married.
Just answer my question. I didn't give you room to talk. One question. Did you know that he was married already?
Yes, but they were
All right,
separated.
stop.
When divorce court returns, Danelle testifies about the day she moved out.
He called the state troopers on us, saying that we was threatening him, trying to beat him up.
The big guy said to me, if you touch her, I'm gonna touch you. I ran to my bedroom, called the state troopers. They came and escorted her out.
Are you involved in a dispute with a neighbor, friend, relative, or business person? Take your case to a new court show and be represented by a prominent attorney. Call 877-777-0099. Divorce court is back in the case of Paul Speaks as the judge questions him about cheating on his wife, Danelle.
So did you finally divorce the first wife?
Yes, I did, yeah.
Oh, all right.
I finally divorced her. Her and I had been dating for several years after that. Now, I really liked Danelle. You know, I really liked her a lot. And I wanted to ask her to marry me in my time, not her threatening
I
me.
didn't threaten
But
you.
you
I
did
didn't
ask
put
her
no
to
gun
marry
to your head.
No, I did not.
You
No, I
married
did
me.
not.
All right,
No, I
Miss
did
Speaks,
not.
let him
I
finish.
did not
I
ask
let
her
you
to
talk
marry
a
me.
long time.
When she gave me that ultimatum, I said, all right, well, we'll get married because I didn't want to lose her friendship or lose her because I really started liking her.
So
like
then you
that.
decided that you would take the ultimatum and you would marry her.
I got married.
But you
Things-
probably weren't ready to be married, so you
wasn't
didn't
ready.
stop seeing Sally and Susie,
Well,
huh?
I wasn't saying nobody else. I was just saying Danelle.
So were you having a little affair when you were married?
With her?
Yes.
No, I was not, Yana.
Yes, you were.
Yeah, you
How
were.
you get 4 kids?
It was before you and your wife divorced.
She wasn't at the home then. She had left.
But you're still married,
But why
Mr.
did
Speaks.
I-
So my whole point is,
Okay,
Mrs.
well-
Speaks knew you were married. You're dating her. You're not divorced from your first wife. So there's a big clue that you date and deal with more than one woman at a time. But move on.
She had been gone already. Okay.
I got you. I
She
understood
stayed there
that.
for. She didn't even stay after 6 months. She said to me, she said, I'm leaving. I'm gonna go spend some time with my mother. She went on and moved to her mother. Now then,
wait a minute. Did she tell you I'm going to visit my mother?
she said she was
moving out of here, and this marriage
let me
is over.
explain it to you. She said she was going to visit, but other things came up. We started arguing. She said she was moving out. All her stuff was lined up from that door to about here. Well, her moving crew, which consisted of her brother, his friend, a girlfriend, and a little child.
So she came back and she moved. Is that what you're telling me?
They came and got her stuff. I didn't say nothing. I didn't interrupt them or nothing. The only interference came on my behalf when this big guy that she had with her brother to move her stuff, she said, after they got everything out, she said, oh, yeah, and by the way, the microwave. I said, oh, no, you're not getting that. You didn't mention that when you and I discussed.
So you had a fight over the microwave.
He's lying.
Well, let me ask you something. During that time that she was gone and before she came back to get her things, when she got back, in between that time, had you put another woman in the house?
No, Your Honor.
Tell the truth.
So when she got back to get her things, there were no other woman's belongings in the house?
There, nothing.
But no panties, no stockings?
None of that.
Nothing.
No, Your Honor.
She's making all this up.
Exactly.
Well, did you show him the panties?
Yes, I left them right there on the counter.
Did you show them to him?
No, because I left everything right there on the counter.
So you didn't confront your husband with these panties?
When we came in, when I found all this stuff, I left it right there on the counter. I was so furious. I left everything right there on the counter. I took me like maybe a bag of 2 of clothes, and at that time I went on. It was nothing for me to stay for.
So why didn't you take all your things that were packed?
I couldn't lift the stuff.
So
That's
you never
why I had
went back
to get
to
a moving crew. No, I couldn't even lift this stuff. I just took
so did
some
you take a
clothes.
moving crew with you?
Yes, I took
And now
a
what
moving
happened
crew.
with the moving crew?
He called the state troopers on us.
So that's why you never got the stuff?
That's why I never got the stuff.
me.
He called the state troopers on us, saying that we was threatening him, trying to beat him up. Only thing I wanted was half of what I'm not asking for all this stuff.
No, hold on a
I
second.
asked him at the time, Paul, we need to come together, have some kind of meeting.
So you went back there to get your things?
Yes. We still have financial, agreement, and we still have furniture to agree upon. We need to come together, sit down like mature adults, and come to
Try to
some
resolve
kind of
this.
Try to resolve it.
So when you went back, did you have any type of an agreement already, what you would get and what he would keep?
No, because we had like 2 of everything by us moving.
So now what do you want?
I just want half of this stuff.
All right,
You know what I mean?
let me see.
I would like to have half of what
Half of everything that's on the list or everything that's on this list?
Everything that's on that list.
Is this half?
No, that's all the stuff together.
Okay, so what you want?
Now, I don't even want the stuff because it done been laid on, had sex on, other kids been on it, all that. I just want to be compensated for the stuff that's on that list.
So you're saying all of your furniture items, according to this list, had a value of $8,224. You didn't take any of the items.
I didn't take. He
Everything
didn't let
is
me
left
take
in the
anything.
house.
He didn't let me take anything.
Okay, that's what I just said. You didn't take anything.
No.
And you want to be compensated for the items that were left.
Yes.
What do you have to say, Mr. Speaks?
Your Honor, like I said, when she came back...
Have you seen this list?
Nah. I've seen it, but like I don't remember seeing everything on there because it was like ludicrous that she had the prices. For example,
Well, let's not forget about the prices.
Okay.
Did you? I'll just read it quickly.
I saw the list.
Okay, so you did see it.
Yes.
Now, do you have all of these items?
No.
What don't you have?
What I don't have, which is something that we never owned, was a 3-disc changer that
Well,
she
my
has.
mistake.
Excuse me.
It's a 1-disc changer, Your Honor.
Okay, that's a $50 item,
Thank
a CD
you.
changer. Come on, please.
boy.
Do you have these major items?
Yes.
Do you have the bedroom sets?
I have a bedroom set at
Both
home.
of them.
I don't. The other bedroom set that she's talking about, Your Honor, was put in a friend's house of mine that she knows that she and I took over there because we couldn't get it in our apartment at the time. I called Danelle and I told Danelle that.
Do you have the paintings? Do you have most of this stuff? Did she take any furniture items with her? Yes or no?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so it was left there when you moved, right?
Yes.
When she left.
When she left.
Now, have you disposed of any?
No.
They playing house.
Have you given any away?
The only thing that I do not have.
What's that?
Is that love seat. I mean, it's the sofa bed and that water bed.
Okay, what do you say this thing's worth? Your furniture and furnishings are worth?
I don't think you get no $300 for none of this stuff.
$300?
You won't even get $300 at a Goodwill sale because all the stuff. This is 5 years now. 5 years later, she comes up here. When she left, she could have took anything she wanted to take.
No, I couldn't because you called the state trooper.
Did you call
You know
the state
why I
trooper?
called the state trooper? Because the guy, when she started naming stuff that she didn't mention in our agreement verbally in the beginning, She told him the microwave goes. I said to her, you're not taking that microwave because you did not ask to have that in the beginning.
So
Okay?
then
the big guy said to me, if you touch her, I'm going to touch you. I ran to my bedroom, called the state troopers. They came and escorted her out because she's not on my
So
lease.
bottom line is...
But I was on the lease.
Bottom line...
You were not.
I was so on the
You
lease.
was not.
Oh, hush, both of you.
Man.
When divorce court returns, the judge renders her verdict.
Instead of saying, get out of here, you guys should have said, state trooper, stay while we decide who's going to take what.
And an update on the case of Sissy Sweeney versus Ronnie Sweeney.
Well, if you'd have sex with me, then I wouldn't have to go and sleep with your best friend.
Divorce court will be back in session in a moment. Divorce court is back in the case of Danelle Speaks versus Paul Speaks as the judge rules on their fight over $8,000 worth of home furnishings.
So I'm going to say this, and this is it. You had an agreement because she told you what she wanted. So you said, before she got there. So she had already told you what she wanted. But then once she got there, you had an argument over a microwave.
Because she was adding stuff, Your Honor.
That's my point, Mr. Speaks. So she did tell you what she wanted. Then when you got there, she changed her mind, started adding. You had an argument over it. You called the state trooper. The state trooper said you're leaving without anything. So bottom line is she didn't take anything.
He let her go with her things. Yes, she did. She took a three-piece entertainment set that we had in the apartment.
Mr. Speaks, bottom line is the furniture and furnishings is community property. She was entitled to a part of it. Instead of saying, get out of here, you guys should have said, state trooper, stay while we decide who's going to take what. And I don't care if it was 5 years ago, it's still community property. If you kept all the items, you could have packed it up yourself and driven it to her in a U-Haul truck. Or you could have packed it and put it in storage and said, these are the items that you're going to have, what you had agreed upon. But you didn't do that. So now she has to divide it. The issue is, what was it worth? And I don't have any evidence of anything other than what you say is worth $8,000, and you say it's worth $300. And I know that it wasn't worth $300 because you have too many items here.
Thank you.
A bedroom set is not worth $300 when you add two of them together.
The bedroom set is 8 years old.
I understand that, but I'm going back to the time you separated. Now, what you and your new friend have done and what it's worth now is not my problem. The issue is back. I doubt if it was worth $8,000 too. Because once you take bedroom and household furniture and furnishings out of the department store or wherever you buy it from, it loses its value instantly. And the question is, what would somebody else buy it for? You don't want to buy it because somebody else has slept on it. So why do you think someone else would have bought it from you for the same price after you and your husband had slept on it? Same issue. You just said it yourself. So I'm just going to use the court's best judgment based upon buying and selling and purchasing furniture and give you what I believe is a figure for 4 or 5 rooms of furniture. About $3,000. We'll order you to pay half of that, Mr. Speaks. $1,500 to Mrs. Speaks. That's the order of the court.
When divorce court returns, an update on the case of Sissy Sweeney versus Ronnie Sweeney.
What am I supposed to do when there's a woman right there fixing to jump in my bed and she didn't have no clothes on?
Oh!
Closed captioning for divorce court provided by. If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com. And now for an update on a previous case in divorce court. Sissy Sweeney said her 2-year marriage to Ronnie ended because he slept with her best friend.
Well, I'm not a priest. A priest can go without it. I can't go without it. Well, if you'd have sex with me, then I wouldn't have to go and sleep with your best friend.
So what is your problem, sir?
I didn't like the girl from the start.
Oh, so okay, hello.
I mean, she didn't have no clothes on. And what in the world, you know, what am I supposed to do when there's a woman right there fixing to jump in my bed?
Mr. Doorknob, everybody gets a turn, don't they?
Sissy wanted Ronnie to give her $1,000 so she could move into her own apartment. The judge ordered Ronnie to pay the $500 deposit on the apartment and give Sissy $300 a month support for their son. Sissy moved into her new apartment and has a new truck driving job. On her way home from court, she met a pilot who gave her a charm necklace, and she says their relationship is flying along. Ronnie says he celebrated his freedom from Sissy by getting his tongue pierced, and he's happy that his new look gets him lots of attention from the ladies.
This guy's a slime, and I would just advise all women to stay away from him.
She's mad just like any other female that deal with me. You know, I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna go down the way a lot of guys go down.
I have a word for him. He is called a foul game bird.
She lied. The judge made her decision. So be it. I deal with the other things on other grounds.
I got you, because you was wrong.